G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So jumping straight into Go Battle League, and I'm currently in rank 8 and we're in the Master League, so we will jump in and get things started. So Master League, running Giratina, Groudon and Mewtwo. So Giratina in the lead, and with Buddy Boost, hopefully that way it will win any mirror matches, because mine is 100%. So hopefully that gives me a slight advantage, but we'll wait and see. So none of them running weird moves, all the fairly standard stuff. So Giratina, full Ghost, Groudon, Fire Punch, Earthquake, Mewtwo, Size Strike, and Focus Blast. So nothing too outrageous in the moves, and we'll jump in and see what we get. So running Giratina on the lead, you obviously don't want to hit Dialga, Dragonite. Groudon's actually a negative match for it, but what I find is usually people do not shield the first charge move, so always throw Shadow Ball. So when it's anything but a Giratina, throw Shadow Ball. If it's Giratina, then usually throw Ominous Wind, because they shield everything. So as you can see, got hit by the Earthquake, but because my Shadow Ball went through, put massive amounts of pressure and managed to win switch there. So came in with the Dialga to farm me down, so I bring in the Groudon. So for this one, the Iron Heads are going to be doing a reasonable amount of damage, so obviously I'll charge up to the Earthquake and then throw the Fire Punch. So throw the Fire Punch when shields are in play, especially when they've got 2 shields. So if you have even shields, just throw Fire Punches. It seems to work out a little bit better for me. So let's see what we get. Unfortunately, we did CMP tie there, so that's really bad. Worst possible situation. So what I probably should have done there is I did under farm, but still too much, and then out comes the Mewtwo. Again, should have just thrown the Fire Punch and did a little bit of chip damage. Instead went for the big old Earthquake and got nothing. So out comes my own Mewtwo, and so we're facing off. So Size Strike there, and they've still got a shield. So really unfortunate for me. So I've got to another Size Strike, so I want to get to back-to-back. So able to get to back-to-back Size Strikes, and I'll throw these. So the first one does a reasonable amount of damage. Second one is going to be shielded, and then they're going to be able to farm me down there. So really should have thrown that Fire Punch just to put a little bit of extra pressure on those shields. And that might have been the difference between winning and losing that game. So sometimes just throw the smaller move, just to do that chip damage. So Togekiss, really bad lead to get. So what I do with these leads is charge up to the Ominous Wind, and charge up to the Shadow Ball and throw the Ominous Wind. So I really do try and bait a shield out here, and then go for back-to-back Ominous Winds. Unfortunately, this is an Aerial Ace, and that takes me out. So normally, if it is going to be a Ancient Power, I have enough time to just get to the second Ominous Wind. So the Aerial Ace really, was unfortunate for me there, and then out comes the Giratina. So again, really not a good matchup for me to be in. I get a shield. I'm going to do the same, so shield this up and see what happens here. So another Dragon Claw comes through. I'm going to throw into the Size Strike again, and as you can see, it does do a lot of damage, so not too bad there. So Dragon Claw comes through, and then out comes the Groudon. So they've got shields. I'm not going to shield this first one up, and so not sure how much damage the Fire Punch will do here. So throw the Fire Punch, hoping to bait out their last shield. Don't get the shield, and it does absolutely nothing. Just does absolutely no damage whatsoever. So that's really unfortunate. I'm going to throw straight into my next charge move, and then out comes a Garchomp. So Garchomp is going to Sand Tomb me here, but there's really nothing I can do. It can just Sand Tomb me to my death. So I try for another bait here, and don't get it. So they let that one go, and Fire Punch does absolutely nothing to Garchomp either. To go for another bait for whatever reason. Managed to get the shield, but this is too little too late. So just had all the answers there. So really unfortunate for me there. They just had, yeah, really nice counters. Maintained alignment. And there's nothing you can do. So we'll jump into the next one, and hopefully we can get a little bit better matchup. So Groudon as a swap-in against the Dialga swap-ins is going to be okay. So usually what happens here is they'll throw a charge move and then get out of there. Let's see if they do the same thing. So throw the rock slide, so no shield there. They're not getting out of there, so I'll throw the shadow ball. It's 50-50 whether they decide to shield. This one does decide to shield and then get out of there. So they come in with their own Giratina, and because they over-farmed, they probably think and don't shield the Shadow Ball, so absolutely perfect. So I'm thinking they've got no health left, they're going to Shadow Ball, so shield that up and then able to farm down their Giratina. So really big match there, so that worked out really well. In comes the Melmetal again, and throw the Shadow Ball, and it shields it up. So they're down shield. So I want to swap this out and put on some pressure with the Groudon. Unfortunately, they just swapped out as I threw my charge move. Thankfully, it is another Groudon, so the Earthquake was the better move to play there. So I'm not going to shield this up. I've got Mewtwo in the back, so let's just throw the Fire Punch and see what we can do here. So able to take that out. Melmetal's coming in, so the only thing it can do is Superpower to take me out. Rock Slides are going to do nothing, and if it superpowers me, I've got Pokemon in the back that are able to take it out. So it does superpower me there, but doesn't do enough to KO. So I'm able to get to another Fire Punch on a debuffed Melmetal, and it takes it out and get the win. So good game there. So saving my shields for Mewtwo in the back, because obviously they only had the Melmetal, and if they debuff it, then happy days. So another Melmetal lead here. So this one dips straight out, and I'm thinking about what to do, and I swap into my Mewtwo. So this is the wrong move, so obviously they usually run Crunch and Outrage, so Zekroms, so should have swapped into my so should have swapped into the Groudon, although I was thinking Groudon v Melmetal at the end of the game is going to be the better play. So they've gone Crunch again, and now it's a race. The race is on to see who can get to that charge move first. I am able to get there, which is really nice, and take out the Groudon. So unfortunately they have a Giratina in the back, so this is going to be able to get to a Shadow Ball pretty quickly. I'm not going to be able to take it out with mine, but I am going to be able to put it in a fairly bad spot. So they decide to Shadow Ball, which is really good, and I need to get to this Earthquake before the Melmetal can get to its superpower, and I'm able to do so. So able to get to that Earthquake and take that out. Back comes the Giratina. This Fire Punch will do nothing, but it is at such low health that I will be able to take it out, and that's another good game. So probably should have switched into my Groudon v Zekrom there, but was able to get away with it. So that one was pretty lucky. So let's jump into the next match and see what we get. So Giratina on the lead v Giratina. So for these matches, I usually like to let them throw their charge move first. So I'm going to shield this up, even though I know it's an Ominous Wind. Like 99% of Giratinas throw Ominous Wind to start with. So I do the same, and they shield up as well. So this time I'm going to throw my Ominous Wind first, and we'll see what if we get a shield. So we do get the shield, and I don't get a boost, unfortunately. I will shield this up as well, and now you've got to be careful of a switch out, and they do. So switched it straight out. So in this one, so this is not too bad. So they're going to Iron Head me, and it's going to take my health down fairly low. So what I should have done there is over-farmed just a little bit, instead of letting the... so instead of letting that go, so quickly, just so then I might have been able to pressure with an Earthquake. So you can see that just does absolutely no damage, but they are throwing their energy, so that's really, really good. Unfortunately, they identified it and were able to undercharge to draw up some more energy. So I come in with my Giratina. I'm very close to an Ominous Wind, get there and take it out. So in the back is a Melmetal. Expecting it to take me out with this Rock Slide, and it does. So now I've got a full Mewtwo versus the Melmetal. They're going to be able to Rock Slide me probably twice before I can get to my Focus Blast. Looks like they were trying to save up back to back. Able to get to my Focus Blast and take that out in one shot. Shields are down, so happy days. So able to take that win as well. So really good there. Really good play by the opposition, undercharging the Ominous Wind on the Groudon, but was able to come in and Ominous Wind on with my own Giratina against theirs to take them out. So on the lead, so I don't actually like this as a lead match, even though it is positive, because one, they could be running Shadow Ball, and two, Side Strikes just charge so quickly. So yeah, it's I really do not like this match when shields, when we've got sort of equal shields. So it is the Psy Strike, and then I'm thinking, oh, is it back-to-back Psy Strikes? It's a Shadow Ball, and it almost one-shots me there, which is really, really bad. So able to get to another Ominous Wind, so I'm take out their shields. They're almost down to no health. I bring out my own Mewtwo. No, this is going to be a Shadow Ball. It is the Shadow Ball, and then they swap out into their Dragonite. So here I make a pretty big mistake. So I throw my Psy Strike, which is the right move. They're going to throw their Dragon Claw now, which won't do enough to take me out, which is good. And then I charge up to a Psy Strike and switch. So ground moves are going to do absolutely nothing to the Dragonite. And then they outrage me, which is brutal. So I throw my Fire Punch, out comes a Mewtwo, which is brutal, takes down the Groudon, able to throw the energy I had stored on the Mewtwo, but their Mewtwo is able to come out and farm me down. So big mistake there. Should have just thrown the next Psy Strike and taken out the Dragonite. So really, really not ideal. So out comes Melmetal. So again, for this matchup, usually they'll let me throw a charge move and then they'll dip out of there. In this case, I'm going the opposite way. So don't shield up the Rock Slide, and I'm going to throw the Ominous Wind. Last time I got a shield, and this time I didn't. So it's pretty much every time you get a every time I seem to make that call, they always seem to do the opposite to what I'm expecting. So out comes the Mewtwo, get to the Psy Strike really, really quickly, throw this, we'll be getting a shield here, get the shield. If I didn't get the shield, then obviously it would be KOing. So I'm expecting back-to-back Dragon Claws here, because they did charge up a lot of energy. I'm going to double shield this. So whether that's a good play or not, we'll find out. Able to get to my Psy Strike. Let's see what they want to do. They do double shield. I did over farm a little bit, so was able to get to my next Psy Strike really, really quickly, and take out the Dragonite. So waste one of their shields. So out comes the Melmetal. And it has thrown energy, so that's really good for me. So able to bring out the Groudon. Now I need to keep Groudon for, I can't swap my Giratina in against the Snorlax, so this is actually not too bad for me. So we'll just throw straight up Earthquake and see what we do. So I'm expecting superpowers to come out, so I'm just trying to get as much damage as I can on this Snorlax, and then last second move, and I'm thinking, oh, superpowers coming through. It is a body slam, so I don't know what moves they've got, and then I'm going to look to farm down, able to farm that down, and then throw the Earthquake onto the Melmetal when it comes back in, and that one-shots it, so good game right there. So obviously they weren't running superpower on that Snorlax, otherwise I would have been in a little bit more of a tough spot. So I imagine they were probably running Earthquake with it rather than superpower and body slam. So jumping into the next max, Giratina on the lead versus Mewtwo again. I really just do not like this lead. So they actually get to this move before me, so it is a Psy Strike, and I'm not 100% sure why I've shielded the first one up. I will shield the first one and then throw my Ominous Wind. So they don't shield this up, so not ideal for me. So now I will not shield this one, and I can fully farm down the Giratina. And again, here's where I make a mistake. I throw my energy onto the Dialga, it shields it up, and then I let it farm me down. So that's not a good play. We're equal shields. They've got a Dialga with a lot of energy, and I've got a Groudon that is going to struggle. So throw the Fire Blast, get the last shield, but they're able to get to an Iron Head, but they just don't have enough to KO, and then I'm able to throw the Earthquake. Out comes their Zekrom, able to get to this Psy Strike very, very quickly. Wondering what they're going to throw. They throw the Outrage, which is insane, and then they're able to fast move, farm down my Groudon. Didn't even get a chance to pop up, and they're able to fast move that down. So good game by them, and a bit of a mistake by me letting them farm down the letting them farm down the Giratina was a huge mistake. Should have just swapped straight into the Groudon there. So again, mirror match here. So I like to let them throw their energy first, expecting an Ominous Wind to come through. It is the Ominous Wind, but I shield anyway. I will throw my own Ominous Wind and probably get a shield here. So again, you've just got to be aware that looking at getting down to this second shield, that they may now switch out. So you've got to be really careful of that. And they're not switching out, so I'll just throw the next Ominous Wind and see what they want to do. So they're going to let that go through, and then I'm going to switch out into my Groudon to tank this Shadow Ball and charge it down. So they've got a shield advantage, but I've got energy on my and that's a really nice swap there. So through the Fire Punch onto the other Groudon, and that's really bad. So just going to throw my next Fire Punch now. Don't think I'm going to get to the Earthquake. It turns out I would have 100% got the Earthquake, but I think they held off and over farmed a little bit just to get a little bit more energy. So I'm going to come out with the Mewtwo here. Even if they do throw the Earthquake, it's not going to KO at this range, which is great. They were looking to catch the Psy Strike, able to hold off, get a little bit of lag here, throw my, switch into the Giratina, throw my Shadow Ball, and then out comes the Groudon. Able to get to the charge move, which is absolutely perfect. Throw that, we'll get the last shield. They're going to throw, don't really mind. If it's a Fire Punch, it doesn't take me out, and if it was an Earthquake, they'd have no energy left. I had a charge move on the Mewtwo, so we fainted at the same time. Had Mewtwo in the back, so good game right there. Had Mewtwo with energy, and Mewtwo is always going to win CMP. CMP tie, so that was good game, so didn't mind them throwing that energy there. I just really wanted to get to my charge move to stop them having a shield in the back against my Mewtwo. So again, this is a good move. Count the charge moves: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they throw. So I know this is going to be a Surf, and there's absolutely no reason to shield up the Surf. So let that go through. Unfortunately, they did get a fast move in between theirs and my charge move. Shield that up and swap out, so I'm up a shield, and now I've got my Groudon paired against their Dialga. So this is really good for me, and let's see if we can capitalize. So when they've got shields, I do want to throw the Fire Punch. They don't shield it up, so that's not ideal for me. Throw the next Fire Punch. Let's see what they want to do. Again, get another shield, and then able to throw another Fire Punch and take this out. So that's really, really good there. In comes the Kyogre. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get to an Earthquake. They are going to charge me down. So what do I do here? So I'm going to come in with the Giratina here. I do have energy, so I will throw straight into the Shadow Ball, able to KO on the... So KO there. I'm going to let that go. So obviously, if they throw the... Wanted to save the shield for my Mewtwo. If they had thrown an Earthquake, they wouldn't have had enough energy. It would have taken out the Giratina, but they wouldn't have had enough energy to get to 2 in the space of time required to take out the Mewtwo, which is why I left that unshielded. The only win scenario was if I shielded that up, they stored up more energy and were able to throw lots of charge moves. That was not the case, and able to take that. So managed to get 3 wins there. So hopefully that was useful. Got the Galarian Farfetch, which is nice. Got it battered back by the Giratina, so sometimes comes in handy. I do have a video on improving your excellent curveballs. I'll link that now, so if you want to check that out, do so, because obviously useful for raid bosses and rocket stops, and able to catch that Farfetch there. So hopefully that was useful for someone, having Groudon in the back and Giratina in the lead. So pushed me over the rating of 2400, which is really, really nice. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.